Hi everybody, have you guys been wondering what's the best class in krunker.io right now? Well, I have the answer for you guys. As you guys can see, I'm level 137. I have over 1100 nukes right now, so I know a thing or two about nuking. And I'm gonna tell you which class is the best to nuke on, from agent all the way to AK, so make sure you watch the entire video. I'm gonna rate each class in 5 different categories: range, speed, crowd control, satisfaction, and of course, nuking. But before I start, I just want to let you guys know that this is my tier list. If you guys have different opinions about each class, let me know down in the comments section. Oh yeah, by the way, I created my Discord server like a few days ago, so if you want to join that, link is down in the description below. Alright, let's continue. The first class that I'm gonna rate is Agent. Agent is not the best class to nuke on. If I would rate his range out of 10, I would give it a 5. Speed, aka movement on Agent, is pretty decent. I'm gonna give it an 8. Crowd control, not that good. I would give it a 4, just because if you want to, let's say, kill 3 enemies, you will have to reload at least once or twice. And that's also the reason satisfaction is 6, because I just simply don't like playing this class. You can choke a lot of easy nukes because you're stuck in that reloading animation, because you also have to reload pretty much all the time. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. Next we have Trooper, aka Blaster. It's not that bad. For range I would give it 6.5, just because you have to predict where enemy will go. For speed, you can actually catch quite some speed, so I will give it 7.5. Crowd control, if you know how to slide hop, I would give it a 7. For satisfaction, I would give it an 8. It's a really satisfying class to play with, but for nuking, I'm gonna put it in C tier, just because you cannot kill enemies in long range. Next, we have Spray and Pray, or as people like to call it, the LMG. Range on this class is 7. If you know how to slide hop. Speed, I would give it a 10, but just because if you bump into anything, the acceleration is pretty hard and it can definitely ruin your kill streaks. I would say it's 9.5. For crowd control, I would give it an 8. And for satisfaction, if you catch speed like 250, 300 speed, this is one of the classes that are most fun to play with. But for nuking, I would put it in B tier. Next we have Runner. I'm not even sure why I put this into the list. Range 1, you only have a knife. If you throw your knife, you basically lose the only weapon that you have. Speed, it's good, but because you have your knife out, the acceleration is really good, but once you reach certain speed, it's really hard to control your slide hops, just because your jumps are really long, and ADS with your knife, it's not the greatest. Plus, if you want to kill an enemy, you're pretty much gonna walk straight towards the enemy once you're close. So, I don't know, I'm gonna put it in speed 7. Crowd control, I would give it -5, it's horrible. If you get in 2v1 situation, because you're using your knife, people are gonna focus you and they're just gonna hold that S key and just move away from you. You're gonna die pretty much 80% of the time. Or if you kill at least one enemy, the other one will definitely kill you. So definitely don't use Runner if you want to get nukes. So for satisfaction, I would give it a 6. When you knife someone, it's really good, but it's really satisfying. But then again, every single class in the game can knife someone, so it's absolutely horrible class to play with. Definitely F tier, not even a question. Next, we have Revolver, aka the Detective. This class is pretty hard to rate. I'm gonna put it in A tier, and I'm gonna explain why. For range, definitely an 8. You can one shot to the head and deal 90 plus damage. You can steal kills really easily. Speed 9, one of the best time to kill weapons in this game, so crowd control and 9. Satisfaction. One-shotting snipers, shotguns, it's really satisfying. So I guess we could say 8. Definitely one of the best classes in the game right now. I would put it in S tier, but one thing that I don't like about Revolver Pops is that you actually have to try, you actually have to hit your flicks, and if your game is not on point, you can definitely choke some really easy nukes. And when I play Pops, I definitely just like to chill, listen to some music, Spotify. If you are focusing all the time and try harding, definitely in S tier, that's for sure. But I would put it in A tier. Next, we have Sniper. A lot of people will say Sniper, okay, automatically 10 out of 10 on long range. But the thing is, if you miss your shot on long range, especially if you go against AK or any other class that's automatic, if you miss that shot, they can pretty much just spray and kill you because of your 60 HP factor. And because there is a damage drop off, if you body hit really long range, you're actually not gonna kill the enemy, and there's a high chance people are gonna steal your kill. So for range, I would give it an 8 or 8.5. For speed, you have to be really careful what are you doing. I would give it 7.5. For crowd control, I would give it 7.5 just because of your HP factor. Because if you do one mistake, you're pretty much dead every single time. Satisfaction, that's one thing about Sniper, why most people enjoy playing Sniper the most. Like if you manage to one-shot that subscribe button and wallbang that notification bell, you're gonna feel so good about yourself and you will not be able to stop playing Sniper. It's so satisfying. But for nuking, I'm actually gonna put it in B tier. Just because of that 60 HP factor. But if you can manage to hit your shots, it can be in A tier. But not a lot of people can hit 80% of their shots, so I'm gonna put it in B tier. Now, one of my favorite classes in the game, Marksman or Semi-Auto. Range on this gun, it's a 9. I would give it a 10, but just because most people cannot control their recoil, it's a 9. Speed, this is one of the hardest classes to play with, just because you have only 8 bullets and you can be out of your ammo in 1 second if you click really fast. When I play it in Pops, I see myself reloading it after pretty much every single kill. You can pretty much never kill 3 enemies without reloading. So for speed, that's why I'm gonna say speed is 6.5. It can definitely be up to 7.5. But you really have to be safe, especially because people like to play a revolver against it and you can get one shot at. You really have to play safe with this weapon. For crowd control, I'm gonna give it a 7. If Semi will get a buff to 10 bullets, it will definitely have 9 or even a 10. But as of right now, I'm gonna give it a 7. Satisfaction, 9. If you manage to hit your headshots every single time, you can 2-tap 100 HP class, you can absolutely delete everyone, you can make a lot of people rage. It's a really fun class to play with, that's why it's one of my favorite classes. But if I'm going to grind for nukes, I'm gonna put it in C tier. I can put it also in B tier, it's kinda in that range, B to C. But do I think that Sami is as good as Sniper for nuking? No. But if it will get a ammo buff, it can even go to A tier, that's for sure. Next, we have Crossbow. Range on this class, it's actually quite good. The arrows on this class travel in decent speed, so you can kill someone in long range. I would say it's a 7. For speed, I'm gonna give it an 8. Crowd control, you can definitely kill a lot of people at once, especially if you know how to slide hop in decent speed. I think it's a 7. Now, satisfaction, I'm gonna give it a 5. And before you go down to comment section, let me explain. Crossbow is pretty satisfying to play with, the same with shotgun. But the thing is, look, the reason satisfaction is at 5, it's just because the hitboxes in this game are pretty much broken. What I'm trying to say is this game is based on speed. So devs had to make hitboxes a lot bigger, because if you try to track LMG that's going 400 speed, it's gonna be impossible to hit. And Crossbow, the arrow hitbox is absolutely insane. You actually can kill an enemy without even aiming at it. When you kill someone with Crossbow, you cannot really be satisfied just because it's broken. You kill an enemy because you missed your enemy. If you're trying to get good at the game, if you're trying to get respect at this game, if you're trying to improve your gameplay, if you're trying to show off your skills, don't play Crossbow. Because if you switch to any other classes, let's say Sniper, you're gonna miss every single shot. Why? Because you're not used to actually hitting your target with your crosshair. But I have to give it a B for nuking. You can definitely get nukes with it, but if you're trying to be good, don't use it. And the same thing is with shotgun. I'm gonna put it in B tier. You can definitely nuke with it, but the thing with shotgun is, after the nerf, it's actually quite balanced. Range is a 4 or maybe even a 3. You can actually catch quite some speed, a 7. Crowd control, even though you have only 2 bullets, the reload speed is pretty decent. So I'm gonna give it a 7. Satisfaction, I'm gonna give it same as Crossbow. It's just a broken class. You get awarded for missing a target. Don't play it if you're trying to actually get good at this game. Next, we have one of the hardest classes to rate, and that's Commando, aka FAMAS. Range on this class all the way from 6 to all the way up to 8. This class is one of the hardest to use just because you have to control your burst, and if you want to kill an enemy at a really good rate, you have to land those headshots. Your tracking has to be on point. FAMAS, it's a really broken class if you know how to play this game. I'm actually gonna say FAMAS's speed, it's a 10, not even a question. You can catch such a high speed, you can absolutely demolish everyone if you know how to use it. Crowd control, I will get an 8. Satisfaction, honestly, I would say it's a 10. Me personally, getting those 1 bursts on shotguns, AKs, SMGs, it's absolutely satisfying. But only if you can land headshots. If you're not able to land those headshots, the satisfaction can fall down to even a 5. For nuking, I'm gonna put it in A tier. But I know a lot of people who might even say FAMAS is the best class to nuke with. If you can land headshots, if you know how to slide hop, this is the perfect class for you. This class can go all the way from C all the way to S tier. But for me personally, I've been playing with it recently, I'm gonna put it in A tier. Alright, I'm gonna rate final 3 classes. If you're still watching this video, make sure to like the video and let me down in the comments if you actually agree with my tier list. One of the final classes that we're gonna rate is our rocket launcher, or as people like to call it, RPG. Range, you can only one-shot snipers with this class. So you actually have to hit 100 HP class, your opponents, twice, and that's why I'm gonna give it a 4. For speed, this class relies on your movement. If you bump into things and cannot really predict, it's one of the worst classes that you can use. Speed 7, crowd control a 4. I actually found myself a lot of times using a deagle instead of the actual rockets just because it's more reliable. It's definitely not the class. But for the satisfaction, I'm gonna give it a 7. When you manage to 2-shot with RPG, it's really satisfying. But for nuking, I'm gonna put it in C tier. It can definitely be in D tier, but For me personally, I know how to slide hop and it's pretty satisfying to play with. Now we have only two classes left to read. First class is SMG or run and gun. Killing people in long range is pretty hard, but if you can control that slight recoil, you can give it an 8. For speed, this class can catch some insane speed. You can easily accelerate to 200 speed, and if you know how to strafe, if you know how to wall jump, this class is absolutely insane. Speed a 9, crowd control an easy 10, definitely an easy 10. Satisfaction, if you can land headshots, if you know how to wall jump, an easy 8. S tier, definitely easy, no question about it. And the last class that we're gonna rate is a triggerman or AK. Range, I actually think this class is in long range as good as semi-auto. A lot of people play this class, and that's why a lot of people actually complain about this class. It's not because it's that overpowered, it's just because most people that are good at the game use AK, and that's why you see a lot of people on Reddit, Discord complaining about this class. But a lot of people actually switched to SMG just because of the nerf that AK got, and now people are complaining about SMG being overpowered. But before the AK nerf, everyone is saying that it's underpowered. But now that more people use it, people say that SMG is more overpowered, even though it didn't get changed from the AK nerf. So what I'm trying to say is, players who are using AK, who are basically showing people that is overpowered, they switch to SMG and they perform as good or maybe even better with SMG now that they ever did with AK. So, but speed on this class, I think it has the same movement as Hamas, so I would give it a 10. Crowd control, a 10. But the thing that AK is lacking on, it's satisfaction. It's a really basic class to play with. It has basic movement, basic time to kill. Even though I have trigger mastery, I was actually quite bored with AK just because it's such a basic weapon, and that's why I think SMG is the best weapon to nuke with in 2021. It has wall jumping, it has really good movement, and in my opinion, game is way more fun if I play SMG than AK these days. But for nuking, most people will definitely say it is in S tier, including me, but it can actually go down to an A tier, because I think SMG is currently the best class to nuke on. So yeah, this is my tier list, and I think that's it. I think that's the final list of 2021. But if you guys think differently, you guys can tell me that down in the comments, or you guys can join my Discord server. I created one a few days ago. It's down in the description below. If you guys want to chat with me, if you guys have some suggestions, if you guys have a question about nuking, if you guys want to just chat with me, make sure to join my Discord server. It's down in the description below. And thank you guys for watching this video, and see you guys next time.